What's up, everyone? Welcome to another vlog on the Garden State Koi YouTube channel. Today we're on a project up in Roscoe, New York. We are up here prepping the job site, moving material in proper locations, and starting to set elevations. This project will contain 3 fountains, and we'll also be doing 18 stairs. The stairs will be broken up into 3 sections, so as you walk up, there will be a fountain on each landing. You hear that waterfall behind me? We came and built that 2 years ago up here, and they loved it so much that last year we came back and did a smaller fountainscape on the entrance to the walkway of the house, and now we're doing a 3rd project up here, a staircase with 3 fountains. Stay tuned as this project unfolds. It's gonna really be cool. So let's do a quick walkthrough of where the project's gonna be laid out before we get started. You can see in front of me here all these large boulders. When we first got here this morning, Felipe hopped in that skid steer down below and moved those all into place. We're gonna be working on our levels today, laying out everything because we need to go from there all the way up to there where Felipe is. And as you travel up this staircase, one thing that's gonna be really cool, there are gonna be 3 fountains. One in the middle that's gonna be really special. I can't really talk about why it's gonna be special right now because we don't wanna ruin the surprise. So to get started here, we're gonna have to figure out our elevation change. And like I said, we're starting here and ending up there. So what we'll do is we'll break this up into 3 levels. Right down and over here somewhere, actually on the right side here is gonna be a little fountain. It's gonna be a basalt column polished on the top and one side. Over there is gonna be that special fountain. We are gonna be using an aquascape water wall to give a little hint, and that's gonna be located over there on a platform there. And then we'll have stairs going up to the top area there with a fountain off to the right. One thing that's really neat, when this fountain goes in, that water wall is going to spill 360. So not only will you see it from the deck over there, you'll see it as you walk up this walkway. Over here to the right, we're going to be putting in a landing, and that's going to be a nice area for the neighbor, JB, who lives over there, to be able to park his gator. He likes to drive back and forth, and when he comes and visits Raj and Nancy, that would be a perfect place for him to be able to park. So we're starting to set the first boulders to retain the upper patio area. So there's gonna be a little landing right here where the steps are gonna come to. That'll blend right into that upper patio. To start off the project, we're getting the first landing set here. It's kind of like a little walkway, and we're setting in our first Aqua basin. We overdug the hole, placed some 3/4 inch crushed stone down below. We're gonna get that nice and level, set our Aqua basin in. Our ultimate goal is to get the edge of this Aqua basin to sit about 1 inch lower than the patio. That way it looks a little recessed when we're all said and done. We'll be able to place some boulders around it, and a beautiful polished basalt stone is going to be sitting right here. It'll be viewable as you come up that walkway and staircase, as well as this upper patio area. They'll even be able to see it from the deck on the house, as well as over here, pergola swim pool. We got that first Aqua basin in place over there. Now we're going to be putting down some fabric. We're going to lay some 3/4 inch gravel. Guys that are doing the pavers have a way to connect to our steps. When we get back here tomorrow, we're going to actually be able to start on the staircase. A normal Aqua basin, the top looks like this. But when we're doing construction like this, and there's a lot of stuff going on, we lay a piece of filter fabric or underliner on top of that basin. That way no debris falls down inside those holes, and we don't need to clean it out later on. We can just cut that fabric away and have a clean basin when we're ready to place the fountain and finish up the job. What's up, everyone? It's day 2, and we're starting off this day with 2 problems that happened yesterday. At the end of the day, we first hit an electric line right where the bottom of the first step was going to be going on the upper tier. And then you see behind me, the guys are working on the excavator. We blew a track. We got to get that back on the machine. Ross Electric is up here from Liberty fixing our problem with the broken pipe and the broken wires. So we'll be back at it in a little bit today. This is not always glorious. It's fun building waterfalls and ponds, but they do have challenges at times. Oh man.
You have to drain all that grease out and then put the new grease to put the trucks on place.
We're gonna need some paper towels because this is gonna sure get messy.
We're lucky, not a lot of grease. Nothing come out.
Ralphie is putting the grease fittings back into the machine. We had to take them out to squeeze all the grease out. That part of the machine there actually pushes into the frame, and when you do that, grease comes out of holes inside that compartment. It's almost time to fit the track back on the machine and then fill that area up with some grease. When we fill that up with grease, it'll expand back out, tighten the track, and we should be good to go. What's up, everyone? We're back at it on day 3 here of the project here in Roscoe, New York. Yesterday, we got a lot done. We'll walk you through the project later on, but we got 8 of the 12 steps done, and now we're working on the area where the water wall fountain's gonna go in. We need to make sure we have access to be able to reach boulders in. Felipe's setting a boulder right now. Raphael's up in the machine, and we're gonna get this place leveled off so we can install a nice 12 Aqua block fountain basin. So we got 3 rocks in place. This one needs to come a little taller, so what we'll do is we'll actually layer the boulders back into the hillside and bring our height up. We're gonna take a quick coffee break because it is a little chilly out this morning, and Roger and Nancy were super nice to make us some special coffee. She has a cappuccino machine inside, and it is so tasty. So we got a lot of the upper boulders set around the upper staircase. And this is that landing area that I was talking about over there in the distance. And we're getting ready to set in the small Aqua block basin. So what we do is we set the block on the ground first, just like this. Spray around the outside perimeter of that, a little extra big with some trusty mark out paint, and then we'll dig this down roughly about 14 inches. After that, we got to dig a little area deeper over here for that pump vault where the pump will sit for the fountain. That's what Ralphie got in his hand right now. That will go down a little deeper. That's where the pump will go. We'll get some rubber liner fabric in here. This will be a cool little area as you enter in here, as well as from the area back over here where Brian, our social media guy, is. So we're down to the right excavation, but we're just making sure the blocks fit in the hole, and then we'll mark out where the pump vault's gonna go. Once we do that, we'll dig for that pump vault. Then we'll place fabric, liner, and fabric in the hole, and then put this all back in there. Backfill it, and be ready to place the fountain. So the basin is in place, and we're ready to place the fountain wall in the middle. After we do that, we can start placing our rocks around the outside and then start folding our edges in. We want to make sure there's enough space for the water wall. We're also going to have to see how high the water wall is going to go. Right now in the contract, we have it around 4.5 feet, but I think it needs to be 6. So I actually brought an extra piece of the wall with me so we can see what this thing will look like. One thing that's really neat with these water walls is that they are modular, and you can make them as tall as you want. They have different size pieces that stack together. This here is the large piece. Right there is the small piece. We also have another large in the back of my truck just in case the homeowners want to change the height. So the first boulder is going into the fountainscape, and Ralphie and Baldo sure picked out a beauty. Look at this rock they found, covered in moss. That is going to be absolutely beautiful. We should place that in an area where a little bit of water will splash on that, so that will stay alive. That's a beautiful rock there, Baldo. So this boulder here is going to be really cool. It's going to be sitting in the fountain basin, but the pavers on the walkway are going to come up right to the back side of these. They're gonna have to cut the pavers around the rock, but this will be a great transition from the walkway to that water wall. So we had a little rain coming this afternoon, so we tarped the upper area while we continue to work on the bottom area here. We have 3 more steps to go in, and right now we're setting out some 3/4 inch gravel in this area. First for the paver guys to do a little patio here, and then second for us to set our step on. What will be is about 1 inch higher than this step here, the bottom of this step, so that means the patio will just be on a slight grade going up. And then we'll have 3 more steps connecting to our upper staircase. We're gonna work on getting gravel in here, maybe a step or 2, or maybe even 3, and then back at it tomorrow to finish up most of the rock work. So it's day 5 here, and the weather has changed today. Yesterday it was almost 70 degrees, maybe even over 70 degrees, and today it's like 40. So we were wearing short sleeves and wanted shorts yesterday, and now today we're in knitted hats and heavy duty sweatshirts and jackets. You gotta love the spring. Catskills of New York. Weather is always changing here. To start today off, we are setting the last 3 steps. We got the first one done last night, but it started raining, so we had to get out of here. Raphael and Desiderio's up there working on that water wall, and myself, Baldo, and Felipe are working on the steps down here below. These are Rosetta concrete irregular stone steps, and they're one of my favorite because they look like stone, but they're also very, very easy to walk on. They're about a 6.5, 7-inch lift for every step, and they can really transform a space with elevation. So what do you think about the weather today, Ralphie?
Really cold.
Really cold.
70 degrees today, like 45 degrees.
I know, I was just telling everybody, right? I don't even think it's 45. That's That's wishful thinking. But they're working on tucking the edges up here. Ralphie's doing a great job on cobbling. So he cobbled that whole edge out. Thanks to April Dugan from American Waterscapes for teaching him how to do beautiful edge work. Step number 2 is in place and we're moving right along. One more step and then we can start those outcropping boulders. It really gives some dimension to the staircase instead of just a series of steps going up the hill. Up over there is going to be a nice little parking area for the neighbor JB, and the homeowners just told me they are going to pave that area with some pavers. So JB will have a little personal paver driveway when he comes over to visit. How cool is that? So we got the bottom steps in place and now we're ready to level out this area right here. That's right along the first landing and we're going to be placing a fountain right in there. A nice bubbling basalt column is going to look really neat. So we're on day 6 up here at Roscoe finishing up the project. We got to come back one more time, put some special little finishing touches on the project. It is too cold right now to do some plantings and the nurseries don't have a great selection. So in the next couple of weeks, we'll be up here to do some beautiful plantings, which will be either perennial and annual, depending on how cold it is. Hopefully we'll be able to put some annuals in, but up here in the Catskills, it takes a little while for the weather to warm up. We have a special guest with us today.
Christian with Empire Water Gardens. We're out of Clifton Park, New York, which is right between Albany and Saratoga Springs. Enjoying the time down here, learning some stuff from the master. Looking to be able to take some of it back for my customers up there.
Thanks for all your help for the next 2 weeks. And then we got Ralphie over here saving the day with a gluable 1-inch ball valve. So on accident, I grabbed a threaded ball valve this morning. A big mistake. I grabbed 3 ball valves and 1 was wrong. Ralphie just saved the day. And what that's needed for is what Christian is working on. He's making a manifold that's going to sit inside the pump vault attached to the Ultra 2000 pump. And that manifold will keep the ball valves and the pump all in the same compartment. Way easier to hide, and we'll be able to adjust the flow of the water wall. The polished basalt column is in place. The pump is down in the Aqua basin. We're just gonna level it off a little bit, and then we're gonna disguise this basin. One thing you wanna do is not leave it a perfect square. You wanna break up that square looking basin into a nice organic shape. We've been moving along really fast today, trying to complete everything so we can move on to our next project. We did get all the lights in, the walkway lights, the spotlights, and everything else. You might see us running around on that time lapse, starting to put the mulch in. We got our final grade up here, the wall built. Everything's coming together really, really nicely. I can't wait to turn on the fountains at the end of today. There's JB up there with his John Deere Gator, and that area there is his new parking area, which he does not know about. We've been trying to keep it a secret. He even thinks we might be putting a picnic table there.